In the early days when we first started this institute, we weren't quite sure how it was going to be received or whether we would find acceptance. We began to become just absolutely amazed when hundreds and hundreds of people began to come to our programs from the local communities, but also from all of the states in the United States and from foreign countries. It's very humbling to have that happen.
It's been profound for me to see the willingness of people to do their own deep work, to have their lives and their hearts cracked open.
So we got together and we discussed her idea, her vision that she was having, and her ability to articulate the Sophianic interest that she had really impressed me. The value of the program, right away when I first started talking with her, I realized was a feminine approach to spirituality.
I tend to have left out the sacred feminine from my experience, from our experience of religious traditions in our culture, within ourselves. And this is a great loss.
It's a time of great evolutionary shift when a reconciliation with the feminine is essential now to bring forth a heart-centered wisdom, an emergent consciousness that's centered in wholeness. More and more women are awakening to their full potential and becoming powerful co-creative agents for change, joining men as full partners in the domain of human affairs. More and more people are attending to what they're called to on the deepest levels and are working together to create a much more just, sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, conscious world.
Where people can come together and speak about many of the qualities that are often unspoken in the everyday social exchange of life. That there's a way of getting beneath the surface, that there's a community of people who are willing to go beneath the surface.
I cannot heal. I cannot become whole. I cannot be my true self and be of service on this planet the way that I want to until I'm willing to become up close and personal with the universe's other half. Annette Van Lee, a Sufi teacher, says, "What we deny ourselves, we deny to all of life." In denying the feminine her sacred power and purpose, we have impoverished life on personal and global levels in ways we do not understand.
The emphasis on the journey of bringing both the awakened feminine and the awakened masculine both to fruition and into union together in ourselves, and to, as that process starts to develop and mature and ripen in ourselves, then it also is expressed through us out into the world.
The top-down models are dying, and what's coming up is the synergistic, co-creative models that have been pioneered by the feminine. So we really saw that the Sophia Institute, and as all these Sophia circles form, could be a very important force in the evolution of our planet.
We move into this transformed, enlightened oneness that is so critical for the future of life, sooner rather than later, before things become irreversible.
To lift the world to the transformation of self and society, to lift the world in ways that can lead us forward to a society, to a psyche that can make a difference. The great differences of this world have occurred through seemingly small things, in seemingly large situations.
The Renaissance changed everything, and the Renaissance was fomented by only 200 people. They were academics, they were artists, they were philanthropists, at a time when Europe was in the darkest time in history, the Dark Ages. It was only 200 people. It took about 25 years, and the Renaissance literally changed the future of the world.
The greatest scientists, greatest musicians, the greatest artists, the greatest thinkers, the people on this earth who have achieved the most, the Course in Miracles says, have achieved a fraction of what each and every one of us is capable of.
Each person, human person, has a special use for their own life, which is to evolve their potential of understanding the world, their wisdom, their Sophia, and also, therefore, their happiness. Because the more they know of reality, the more blissful they will feel.
And it became clear in follow-ups with attendees that they were going home with this material and actually doing the work of it, changing within their families and also amongst their friends and in their communities. And we began to see that there was a synergistic rippling effect that could come from this work that we were doing.
The Sophia Institute is doing something locally that no other institution is doing, which is to bring this amazing array of speakers, writers, thinkers, poets, artists, and spiritual activists to our community who present ways that we can approach and discover both our common humanity and our common spirituality.
This weekend has given me an opportunity to look at my own life, my own story, and raise some questions that are important for me. Some questions I wouldn't ordinarily raise. Questions that are deeply human, questions that enable me to focus in new ways.
And helped me feel in a safe space to explore that part of me that I hadn't explored a great deal before coming to the Sophia Institute.
There's a wholeheartedness here and an authenticity that seems to cure my exhaustion of just being out in the everyday world.
I was able to reverse and heal my racial wounds and understand my relationship with finances and rewrite my fearful stories and make them positive.
I've had the opportunity to hear many wonderful speakers from all over the world and have really been touched by the amazing ideas that they've espoused.
My work with the Sophia Institute has helped me find my own voice so that I can help others.
You know, there is that energy and there is that spirit that makes Sophia so much more than the programs, because it's the people that are there and you feel like you're not alone.
I am convinced that the genius of soul resides at the Sophia Institute. There is a mystery of hope here. There is a moment to be seized, and it is a necessary moment. And I hope we're all able to step up and seize that moment together.
At Sophia Institute, we are envisioning a 21st century that we could call a wisdom society, a much more just, sustainable, conscious world that holds the sacred at the center of life.